last of the land. From the Hill Podcast with Wayne Cartwright, Damian Green, Tanaris Gooding, David Thomas, Jennifer Murray, and Corey Williams. Sit back, relax, and let
What's happening, everybody? Welcome
what
back to another spectacular edition as we kick things off on this Tuesday night. Dave.
Yes, sir.
T. Gooden, DT, Jay the Great. Like to say what's up to everybody out there. Make sure everybody hit that like button early and often. Just like to thank y'all for tuning in as you always do. Make sure you subscribe to us on our YouTube channel, Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and also follow us on all of our social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, X, all that good stuff. So what's up, y'all? Y'all good? What's going on?
Man, I'm happy. We got both teams going to the SWAC tourney that we'll talk about later. We got these awards coming in. It's a beautiful, beautiful day in Huntsville, Alabama. I'm excited.
Yeah. It is
Same
beautiful.
here. Really happy that both our teams made it to the tournament.
Yeah. DT, you good, man?
They can survive.
Love it. I love it. It's my time of year, buddy. March Madness.
Yeah.
You made it. Wayne, me and you are the two big college hoops fans, right?
Yep.
People don't know this. Wayne runs a Facebook group called, what is it called? College Basketball what?
College Basketball Discussion Page.
On Facebook. And we get it in.
Yeah, man. And the theme of March of these conference tournaments so far is the top teams been getting picked off. A lot of the top teams so far ain't even been getting to the championship games. So, if that happens in the SWAC, hey, things could be looking good for old AAMU, but we'll talk about that a lot later.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So as we said, we're going to the tournament. It was a bit hairy on the men's side for most of the season. It even went right down to the final game, but we made it.
We made it.
And our sports teams know they like to send us to cardiac arrest, man.
Listen,
no matter which team it is, football, basketball.
You cannot come on campus without your blood pressure medical.
Right.
Do not come on campus without your blood pressure medical.
EMTs on standby.
Right.
Mine is Tums. That's been my medicine all whole season. Tums.
Tums. That's funny, man. But like I said, we made it. We're gonna talk about it. We get some things rolling tomorrow, man, for our men. Okay, now some accolades that we're handing out. That we're being handed out. So we got Miss Amaya Simmons, second team all SWAC. She pretty much did her thing the entire season. Absolutely. And this is an awesome thing for her to get on second team. And she's definitely going to have to be key to us to being strong on the women's side if they have any hopes of getting far. So congrats to Amaya Simmons for being named to the second team all SWAC on the women's side. And we got freshman of the year on the men's side, a gentleman that has come a very long way in such a hurry, Mr. Chad Moody. Strong off the bench. Sometimes he starts. He is definitely somebody that we can build upon. And big shout out to Mr. Chad Moody for being named SWAC Freshman of the Year.
Yep.
But also, Miss Kayla Turner, not to be outdone, she was named SWAC Women's Freshman of the Year. So you've got not just one freshman, but two freshmen represented by both A&M programs on the Freshman of the Year accolade. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, both integral parts to the team.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yep.
And they both were fun to watch this season. Like, man, just came in making an immediate impact.
I lost my voice against Bama State, man. Chad Moody had 8 blocks against Bama State.
Wow.
He did. 8 blocks. And then he also had a few blocks the other night as well. So Chad Moody is I hate to use this term because it's overused, but Chad Moody is a dog for real.
He is a dog.
It shouldn't be overused because it's really only one dog in the SWAC. It's everybody else overusing it. This our thing. We got dogs.
But you know something about Chad Moody? I watched him for the first time on Black Friday up in Cleveland, and he got a little bit of time off the bench, and his confidence was really, really down. But over the time, as he got more playing time, you can see his confidence has risen, and he can literally take over a game if you let him. So shout out to him, and also shout out to Kayla for being named Freshman of the Year on men's and women's side. Awesome
shout out
stuff.
to both.
Also, Ms. Wilson led the SWAC in rebounding.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Rebounds a game. That's nice.
10 rebounds a game.
Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't she the one that said she drank the prune juice before the game?
No, that's Asia Nicholson said that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was about to say maybe everybody needs to do that if it gets you the leading rebounder for the SWAC.
That prune juice.
That prune juice.
Hey,
come on,
that prune juice gonna have to come in handy, man, as we get ready to play, as they take on UAPB. And then also, we want to send another special shout out to former Bulldog standout Garrett Hicks. Last night, the Sanford Bulldogs, they won their first, won the SoCon, the Southern Conference Championship, and it's the first time that Sanford has advanced into the NCAA tournament since 2000.
Yeah,
Hey,
and
we don't just want to say former Bulldog. Alabama A&M alum.
Alabama A&M alum.
He didn't just leave us. He graduated
Right.
A&M. He went to a graduate transfer. So want to give him that due diligence.
Absolutely. And Garrett was, he's part of the rotation. So he's a key contributor to this team. And I wanted to make sure that we said congratulations to him as well as Sanford. Man, they put it to us when we played them down there in Birmingham. They put a hundred on
Raining threes.
playing that Bucky McMillan, that Bucky ball.
that Bucky ball ain't no.
But you can't forget, we beat Bucky, like, what was it, 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
Yeah. So it was, everybody gets a little payback. We'll get it back.
So
Right.
Sanford, they're not gonna. They're gonna get in the dance. They'll probably be somewhere around a 13, maybe a 13 seed. But that's a team that you want to look out with. They only lost 5 games all season, so
that's good. No matter the conference you play in, if you only lost 5 games,
seriously. But big shout out to everybody. And man. Oh, look at CJ said Bucky gone after this season. You know what, man? I think you're right.
Yes,
I think you're absolutely right. And yeah, man, we getting ready to do some things though, because March Madness is here. So, as we always say at this time, make sure you hit that like button early and often, and also check out all of our updates on the bottom of the screen. The men's baseball team, they have a little bit of a tough start, y'all, but they getting ready to have a run of home games starting this weekend as they host FAMU, starting out SWAC play. Also, women's softball, they open SWAC play on the road. They already had their first home series against FAMU. They actually hit the road this weekend to take on Jackson State. Then tennis is in action. Bowling, they're the 3 seed in the bowling tournament, which starts this weekend in Dallas. So a lot of things going on. All right, so our first guest tonight is something that you might have seen posted, but he'll get a chance to talk a little bit about it in great length. It's a company called YAP It, and I just wanted to introduce our man Alvin at this time. Let's bring him on. Good evening, Alvin from YAP It. How's it going?
Everything's good. How you guys doing?
How you doing, sir?
Well,
hey, how you doing?
Good.
All right. Yeah, man. So, there was a partnership that was announced between Alabama A&M and YAP It. So, Alvin, we just gonna go ahead and give you the floor and just kind of talk a little bit about yourself and YAP It and a little bit about the partnership.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Yeah, again, Alvin Merrifield. I'm basically IT tech guy. Been working on the concept of YAP It for a number of years. And the whole idea of YAP It was just how do you basically take the social media industry and really bring something different into it, something that actually could benefit not just the company that's running it, but also just the users, right? We all know social is user-generated content. And for the last 5-6 years, I've been working on this project. And right now it's pretty good. And we look at the college market, especially the HBCUs, as a great way to get the students and also a way to help the colleges itself actually benefit from all the students and all the content that's being generated. So what we did with A&M actually coming in as one of our first partners, we're looking to do some really great things with the school. Definitely appreciating the love. And the idea behind it is, instead of just putting all this capital out to all these marketing agencies and all these other people out there, how do we help, especially the historically Black colleges, generate some additional revenue? So our partnership is kind of like a win-win situation, right? How do we get access to the students and let them know about this cool app that's actually going to be paying them for all the engagements, everything they do within the platform, but at the same time also being able to generate some revenue to the college campuses itself to help them do the great things that they're doing.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. And Jen, take yourself off mute as you're talking to Alvin.
It's been a minute. All right, Alvin. Well, first of all, thank you for being on the show.
Well,
have you had some really good feedback regarding YAP It?
Yeah, we had some great feedback, and also it's a new app, so there's a lot of like everything new, challenges and good and bad, but overall like I said, we just launched the app about 2 months ago, but overall the feedback has been really positive. There's a lot of work that obviously needs to be done, and we are focusing right now on that feedback and just our user experience, the UI, and just really making sure the app functions the way the users expected it. But again, ultimately, what our driving force behind YAP It really is to make sure people understand exactly what it is. Because when they come into YAP It, and it's kind of like trying to experience that, that kind of like that Instagram X type of feel in terms of, we do that, but ultimately the focus of the app is being able to allow people to come in and engage with great content and actually earn points and rewards on those content, so they can actually turn that into cash. So yes, Jay, in terms of to answer your question, yeah, the feedback's been really good, but obviously, like I said, we have some challenges we're working on, and we tell the users every Friday, just look for a new update, because it's going to be a constant beta experience for the next 90 days. And I think after that, we'll start really pushing it out. So be patient, but definitely we want the feedback. We want the love. We want the referrals. And the goal of YAP It, like I tell everybody from day one, is we want to pay out $100 billion by 2030 to our users and to our partners.
I like that number. Alvin, this is David. When I saw the information about the app, the partnership with the university, I thought it was, something really cool, especially mentioning that we were the first collegiate partnership that you had. So I wanted to know, how did the partnership with A&M come about? Were you, shopping around to other institutions, and A&M just said, yeah, we're here, let's sign up? I mean, did you find A.D. Bryant? Did he find you? How did the partnership come about?
Well, no, it actually came through a referral, because we actually in talks, and we've been talking to several other schools. We actually we already have a couple of other HBCUs that actually wanted to roll out with us even before A&M. What I loved about when I was introduced to the AD, I think the synergy was really positive. Just embracing something new, looking at the value that the app had, and that was really why we chose A&M as really the first the first school to really do this with. I mean, options for us was very available. We have at least we've already had we have about 10 partnerships signed up with some major institutions. That's actually just as big, if actually even bigger than A&M. But again, we want to keep it, first was keeping it in the family. and again recognizing who we are, what the A&M and the HBCUs are doing. So to answer, yeah, but David, that was really it. But it was actually a referral from another person that actually worked in the circle that actually brought us to them.
Nice.
All right, Alvin, glad to have you on tonight. I'm DT Green. Just give us an idea of what success may look like through this venture with Alabama A&M for you all.
Yeah, I think success for us is obviously first making sure we got every single person, every student, every faculty, every parent engaging with YAP It, and also our ability to actually help A&M raise significant amount of money through our platform, and making sure that we're helping the students itself generate revenue on a daily basis by basically leveraging their social engagements. I mean, if we can help every student generate, I don't care if it's an extra, $50 or a couple $1,000s a month through this platform, I think that'll be successful on the student side. On A&M side itself, if we can help the school bring in, some quarterly revenue through this partnership. And for YAP It, it's really just about making sure that we have access to every user, right? Everybody out there that can, really see us as a vehicle for great content, great opportunity, because the app is very diverse. So there's so much, we offer the user. So, but overall success for us is going to be measured by making sure that people are doing what YAP is, people achieving what YAP was designed for, which is the app that pays, making sure users are generating money out of it. That is really the core difference between us and every other platform out there. Not as much as the features. There's video platforms, there's photo platforms out there, but YAP It, our core is, like I said, is making sure that we share that revenue with the community, and the platform is built to do that.
Hey, Alvin. So I keep hearing you saying you want to share revenue, which is a good thing. So how is that revenue generated? Is that going to be, does the user, if I sign up for YAP It, do I have to pay? Like, how's the revenue generated? And also Mr. Bozeman had a question that was it was a question I was going to answer, but I'll go back to that. What other HBCUs are you in partnership with? So how is that revenue generated? Is it passed down to the user? And what other HBCUs are you in partnership with?
No problem. Yeah. So question number one, our revenue is generated through obviously several different ways, but the first one is really ad revenue, right? So I tell people, if you look at Facebook, on their third quarter last year, 2023, they generated 39.3 or $5 billion in that quarter, and that 100% of that revenue come from ad revenue. Now imagine they just gave away 10% of that to the users. I mean, they didn't, right? But we have the same relationships. I mean, every single ad agencies and partnership that's on Facebook, we have the same thing, both on a global scale. So our system is set up as a decentralized platform where every dollar that's generated, whether it's through ads, a percentage of that automatically goes to the contribution of the users that actually participate in that. The second part of it is the referral side, right? We have a deals engine similar to Groupon on the platform. So every transaction that's made on that, a percentage of that goes towards the reward system. We have an event ticket engine like Eventbrite. They're going to get that. We also have the content paywall where a user can actually upload a video, and now they can basically sell that video, do a download on demand. So there's about 10 different unique ways users can revenues generated from the platform. And what we basically do is every dollar, a percentage of that money goes into sharing with the users and the organizations that help drive that transaction. And your second question, to answer your second question is, we actually already did with Morehouse right now. I mean, we've done some campaigns with them, and also Black Atlanta. So, and we have about three other HBCUs that already signed up, but we haven't done any physical campaigns with them. And we have a couple of regular colleges and universities itself. That's not HBCUs, but
we didn't hear you say the school in Montgomery, so I think we're all good to go right now.
Yeah.
And I would love to have them on board too. So.
I understand why you would.
Hey, a follow-up question, I guess more more so understanding how this is going to work. So it sounds like, as far as, whether it's the athletic department or the athletes themselves generating revenue for themselves from this app, it sounds like that the amount of engagement they have is going to determine the amount of revenue they get. So they will have to be pretty content heavy, I guess, to keep, fans and whomever else engaged in order to generate that revenue. So they're kind of like controlling, the outcome, I guess I'm trying to say, on this platform, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, obviously, yeah, the revenue, the amount of revenue generated is going to be definitely determined by the user engagement. And also it's not only just the engagement, but the type of engagement, because one of the trick with YAP It was, how do we actually make sure that, one, we stay in business and can be profitable, but at the same time, making sure that everybody, like I said, truly get rewarded properly. So good example would be, let's say, a user that's going to generate quality content, obviously is going to make more money than a person that just come in to like, share, and post something, right? But one of the key differentiator with us also was to make sure that everybody participate. They didn't have to meet any unique threshold, like you got to have this many users, you got to spend this many hours. So, and we recognize that everybody's not gonna come online to try to make a big payday, right? That's not, for the average user, that's not the case. But if we can look at it and we could help somebody pay their phone bill, that's way better off than most users are doing on any platform right now. I mean, we all know, into this social media world, unless you're a superstar, unless you're a major influencer, you're not getting a check. I mean, most people we talk to have never received a check from Facebook. So if we can send the average person $20 a month, I mean, it helps. I mean, but to go back, David, to your answer, to your question, yes, definitely it's going to be user engagement, content quality, referrals. One of the things we try to do is, instead of paying, again, all this money in ad agencies in terms of user acquisitions, we decide to put that money into the schools, giving them that money. I mean, we're going to pay an ad agency, $3, $4, $5 to acquire a user. Why not give it to the schools? The students are already there, right? So it's, when we talk about giving money, a lot of times people are thinking that, oh, these guys are up to something. How can they do that? But it's just the decision. Do you want to do what everybody else is doing and take the traditional route, or do you want to actually pay the communities that are actually going to be engaging with you and help you build a business? And that's the route we decide to take.
Well, Alvin, this has been great stuff, and I know you said that there's further development that's going on. So just one more time, just tell everybody how they can engage with YAP It and how they can find additional information YAP It.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody could go to the App Store, both iOS and Android, and just type in the word YAP It. You're gonna see that nice bright yellow, orange and blue logo. You can download that app, and if you need more information on our terms, conditions, and those type of things, you can go to yapit.app, yapit.app, and then you can actually get on the website. There's a really nice video on the front that gives you really good understanding of what YAP It really does and how it works. And then basically, if you want to reach us, you can contact us right from there also at the contact us. And we're here looking forward to answering any other questions.
All right. Well, you heard that, everybody. This partnership is just beginning, and there's more to come. So Alvin Merrifield from YAP It, you guys will definitely hear a little bit more about him and a bit more about their company as you go through the coming months. So Alvin, we'd like to thank you for joining us tonight, and look for definitely to connect with you, because we know there's going to be more as we get into football. So
yes, guys, thank you very much for having me, and have a blessed evening.
You as well.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm looking forward to that.
Alvin Merrifield from YAP It.
Hey, me too.
Right, it sounds pretty good.
Generate me some content and get paid myself.
Right.
You know it. All right. So
right.
So our next guest tonight was someone that everyone knows very, very well. He was a standout on our Bulldog basketball team last year. He was the defensive player of the year last year. Big 7-foot center. Everybody knows him. Let's welcome at this time Blaise Akinobi. How you doing, Blaise? Good to see you, brother.
Hey, good to see you too. I'm doing good. Thank you.
Yeah, man. So you know, before the panel gets into questions, man, you know, talk a little bit about your experience at A&M and just, you know, that one season. Just talk about it in your own words for us.
Okay, I mean, first of all, coming from a D2, because that was my first D1 experience, it was just like amazing. Like just saying, even from little things like just the gear, like how much more gear I'm getting, like even like better treatment I'm getting, the fans, like the community. So first of all, the D2 to D1 experience was really great, and just playing basketball in the HBCU, like it's like your black folks everywhere. Like I feel like that was a great experience too. So I mean, overall, it was a really good experience, and also like being like able to actually stand out and like just getting special treatment. Like for example, when my mom came down here, she got a shirt. One of the A&M I think Luminaz like got her a shirt, something that had my number on it. I'm just like little things like that. That means a lot to like us. So I'm just saying, like, I love the experience at A&M for sure. So yeah.
Nice, nice. Could you tell us how the transition been from, you know, being on the hill to where you are now?
Honestly, I'm okay. Initially, I know. I don't know if you guys heard, but like, I got drafted to the Grand Rapids Gold. That's the Denver Nuggets G League team. But during that, I got hurt. I tore my ACL, so I got a surgery. So I'm out of work right now. So while I got drafted, I was in the middle of my master's program. But since I got hurt during camp, I just came back. So right now I'm on the campus. So I'm
Nice.
doing my last year of grad school, my last semester actually. So I should be graduating after this semester from grad school. So
Oh, congratulations.
yeah, I'm
Congrats.
actually on
Congrats.
campus right now. Yeah, thank you.
And you know, you mentioning the Grand Rapids Gold, it's going to be my my question to you. Want to hear, you know, how that process was, you getting drafted, because you were a, you know, big popular player when you were here on the hill, and everybody, you know, loved you. All you hear people saying Blaise this and Blaise that. So then once you got drafted with the G League, you know, the Bulldog Nation was really excited. So talk a little bit about, you know, that process and that transition, getting to the G League.
Oh, okay. I mean, first of all, I don't know, like no one really knew about it, but during the season in like December, during the season last year, I tore my meniscus, and I was I took a cortisone shot to finish out the season. So after the season was over, I could not go to the summer league or any big basketball thing. I could not do because I had to get my surgery and everything. So like my name was on the low. Even the HBCU All-Star game, I could not go either because my knee was bothering me. So as far as that being drafted to the G League, because I went through that whole time like just not playing basketball, just trying to rehab. So like when people called my agent and asked about me, they told them I was hurt. So like they kind of lost interest, which was tough for me because I could not avoid this because like it's an injury, like no one sees that coming. So I was just waiting, just rehabbing the whole time till I don't know. They went up the film at A&M and like they liked what they saw, and I guess they was interested. They talked to my agent and everything, and before I knew, my agent called me. He was like, "So look, this teams are interested in you, man. So like, we got to see who's going to draft you. But like, they also have to like." He said he also told them about my issue with my knee, so they have to see like what's going on with my knee because my knee was not 100% ever since December. That's my meniscus. So boom, the draft day was on a Saturday. I remember, and it was the Magic Classic, I believe it happened. So yeah, I was just my agent was like, so today's the draft day. We go and see like what's gonna happen. So I mean, I'm not the type to like overthink stuff. I was just like whoever I got drafted to, like it's cool, like whatever. I was not even checking first. So I was like, I'm gonna just go check just to see it. And I went and checked and I saw I was first round 14. to Grand Rapids Gold. I was like, oh wow. So then I texted my agent, I was like, oh, so I'm going to Grand Rapids Gold, I guess. So I mean, it was a really fun experience, and I like had a lot of reflection doing where I started playing basketball at. Like, if you go on YouTube, you see like my basketball video from like 6 years ago when I first started playing. So it's just amazing just to see my progress, like just see myself go from level to level to level. Like, who would have ever knew I would have? Because I'm at D2. My last year I'm at D2. I averaged like 13 minutes a game. My coach was not really showing me no love. So then I come here the next year and win Defense Player of the Year. So like seeing progress like that, like that makes me like feel shook. Like, wow, like stuff is actually possible. Like, and I also like want to use like stuff like this as inspiration to other people that like don't believe that, don't think it's all. I mean, just stay faithful to it. Just believe for yeah. But yeah, I mean, the experience was really good. Like I said, G League, like I'm right next to the NBA. Like that's every basketball player's dream. Like boom, like I'm at the door. But I mean, being hurt is being really tough for me. Like I had to get another surgery, and like I got that in December 29th. So I'm 2 months out of the surgery now. So it's tough, but like it's okay because I'm getting my master's right now. It's not like I'm just not doing anything. So I'm glad, like, and I'm still getting love from the A&M community. So everything is still going good. So next year I should go back to camp with the Grand Rapids Gold and compete again, and hopefully I'll be 100% healthy again and even way better because I'm not going to stop working. So yeah, that's really the experience with that.
I love that. I
I
love
like
it.
to hear that. Hey, Bulldogs always got your back, man. We ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, I appreciate
Yes.
Always. Blaise, good to have you tonight. Give us a little behind the scenes. What was one of the moments that you'll never forget, basketball moments that you'll never forget while you were here at Alabama A&M?
All right, let me think. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Probably because I don't know, it just happened not too long ago. Against FAMU, I remember. I don't know, it was like it was a lot of people there, just like that even made it like hotter. It was against FAMU. I know Garrett Hicks, he was on a fast break, he went down and like dished it down to me. At first I did not expect it. I was like, oh wow. And I caught it, and like I don't know, my blood was kind of hot. So like I was always like I was willing to like dunk it. Then I got it and I looked, I saw the rim, but like it was people there, but like, I did not care anyway. So like I went up and I tried to dunk it so hard. But it was a dude that was 6'10. He jumped to me with number 10. I forgot his name. He jumped with me. So like he kind of got in my way. So like I dunked it hard, but like I missed. He rolled around the rim and like came out. Then I got mad. Then I looked up. The ball was still in the air. Like no one got the rebound. So I got the rebound myself. Then turned around and like dunked it right back in. So like I was so high when I did. I was yelling so loud. Like I don't think I yelled that loud before. I yelled my lungs out. So like that's definitely a moment.
I think I remember that.
Me
Hey,
too. Yeah.
First of all, like you said, we had no clue that you hurt your knee, that early in the season. The way you competed for the rest of the season, that shows that you are a competitor and are a champion. So, from a Bulldog to another, appreciate that. That's a great sacrifice right there, and we definitely appreciate it. My question though is, man, what took you so long to come from Morehouse to come to Alabama A&M? Because we just needed one more year, man. Like,
Yeah,
we wanted another year. What took so long?
I mean, honestly, I got first of all, I was able to graduate at Morehouse, so I did my 4 years at Morehouse. Honestly, even not because of COVID, I would have never came to A&M. COVID happened, so like I got that year back. Well, I did not play that year, so I got that year back. So that was really my extra year. So really, I was able to actually play somewhere else other than Morehouse, because I mean, I'm very glad that happened. So I don't know what answer to give you of why I took so long. But I'm glad it happened because it would have easily not happened. I'm glad it happened. I was able to do my last year at the Division One college with a lot of love as well. So I mean, so really, I'm really glad it happened. Yeah.
Yeah. I promise you, we are too, man. It was exciting to have you, and then if we had you this year paired with Chad Moody, man, I think we'll be super awesome. You know, we're in this tournament now, but if we had you two guys, it's athleticism and yours as well. It'll be great.
I can imagine.
So Blaise, we know that you came from you grew up in Nigeria. So talk about just, man, Nigeria, coming from Nigeria to the United States, man. Talk about some of the differences that you've experienced from being in Nigeria that you immediately noticed when you came to America, man.
I mean, okay, you believe I get this question a lot. For the first thing I'm gonna say I noticed is definitely like the advanced, like is more advanced in the US. Like things are more advanced here. I'm not saying we don't have technology back home. We definitely do, but like as far as little things like going to the cafeteria and like having a drink machine coming, like because I've not been back home since 2018. I never saw that. I was because I'm more as a cafeteria, like it had a machine, like you press a button and boom, you hit Sprite. It's giving you Sprite. I'm like, oh, this is like so cool. Like, so I'm not. So the advancement, first of all, is something great. But I mean, also in every good thing, there's also something bad. Another thing I noticed a lot was, especially when I was in Atlanta, was a lot of gun violence. Like, it's just a high rate. Like coming from a country where you barely even see anybody with a gun to like just hearing this person got shot, this person got shot, this person got shot. So like, yeah, that was really the transition I faced. So I mean, there's a lot of goods and there's some bads, but overall, like, I love the transition. Like, and also one of my biggest issues from like leaving back home was electricity, man. Like, you'd be like, it might be a time like this, we all like on a call like this, and boom, electricity will go out. Like you never see it coming, but like it happens anyway. But like in the US, like power never goes out. Maybe it goes out like once a year. So like that was really great for me. I love that experience, like not having to like worry about electricity going out and stuff. So that's another thing I love about like being in the States.
Hey, Blaise, I had another question for you. So I was reading an article and it said one goal of yours is to go back home and open up a basketball center in Africa. Why did you make that a goal that you wanted to complete?
I mean, because my mind, I'm like, so when this is all done, like, what is your impact? Like, what have you done? Like, what will people remember you for? That was just something I can do that would just keep my name, like make me actually like stand out. Because I'm not going to be the first person. Like by God's grace, when my dream come true, I'm not going to be the first person in the NBA. I'm not going to be the first person to dunk. I'm not going to be the first this that. But like I want to stand out. Like actually do something that big. So like every time something happens from the basketball center, like I know like I did that, I helped that, because it's a lot of talent back home. Like you would not imagine, just a little bit of coaching, like you will be surprised, like, whoa, what you have out of this player. So like I feel like that will help. I know I'm not the first person to like say stuff or do stuff like this, but like the more of that we have, the more basketball centers we have, the better for like our country, like Nigeria. So yeah, I just want to like impact as well. So yeah, that is really
That's dope. I like that.
Jay White says, send some of that talent back up here, Blaise, after you open it up.
Absolutely. Let's get that going. Yes.
Yeah, and then Jermaine Jenkins says, I always have to take a pic next to Blaise because of our height. Great and humble person.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. So yeah, man, it's been great. It's been great. And you know, last year was a very special season for you. And also we know that even though you're on the shelf right now, we know that, you know, with advanced medicine, brother, you be back in strong health, man, and competing in no time. So, you know, we definitely gonna have to keep up with you, man, as you go through your journey. And we hope to see you not just on the G League court, but make it up to the NBA courts, man. That would be a spectacular thing, and one of the best that we've ever had in A&M basketball. It's Blaise Akinobi. So everybody continue to keep up with his career. And, if you don't follow him right now on Instagram, make sure you follow him. Follow him on all his social media feeds and continue to send him love. So, Blaise, thank you for taking the time, my brother, and joining us tonight. And we say God bless, and we will see you up the road.
And we are praying for your full and complete recovery.
Amen.
Absolutely.
All right, Blaise. We'll see you, my brother.
All right.
That was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Yeah.
T,
T just going through all
that. He was going in. What you see?
I hadn't even said anything yet. All I said was a couple things before we move on, so I hadn't really got into it yet. So a couple things, and like this guy, we always rag on what Alabama A&M doesn't have. But one of the first things he said was, when I got here, all the gear I got from coming from D2 to D1.
Yeah.
So he's thankful for that. Like, and we always say, we need this, we don't have this. Then one of the other things that he said was, just the small things, like he got his mom a t-shirt with his number on it. Yeah. And then he also said, he played, he was getting shots in his knee to continue to play for the rest of the season. And the last thing he said was about the power, like just stuff like that. So it kind of puts things in perspective. Like you always complain about stuff. Like if the Wi-Fi is down for an hour, we have a fit. Not even an hour, 5 minutes. My internet's down. We were going crazy when Facebook was down for not a long time. So it just put things in perspective, man. Like he's thankful for. We like to talk about how our uniforms look, but he was thankful for how our uniforms look. We like, man. We'll like to say, man, all A&M gave his mom was a t-shirt, but guess what? His mother was very grateful for that t-shirt. Hey, me, DT, our friend Alicia, we talk about how Huntsville has power outages all the time now, because of just for random whatever happens, the power may go out. But this guy said he didn't remember. He's used to power going out for a random reason. So it just puts things in perspective, man. And I really appreciate that segment because it makes you want to complain less and just appreciate things as you go.
Yeah, man, definitely some good stuff. So it's time to get ready to talk about the SWAC tournament, and who better to talk about the SWAC tournament? None other than a Southern Jag grad, but he is one of the most knowledgeable SWAC sports guys that are out here. He's all over YouTube with shows and just content. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's just bring on our boy, Perry White, y'all. What's up, Perry?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we got you, brother. I
bring y'all greetings from the heart of Jaguar land. So get some blue and gold up in here today. How y'all doing?
Hey, man, somebody had to say, Jay White had to say, he said, I'm ready for Perry, the A&M hater. I'm like,
I know y'all don't get these colors in here often, so I'm just blessing the screen with you guys today.
Hey, we appreciate it, brother. We really do.
Now, which shade of blue are you rocking? Because y'all aware about a third of them.
Yeah, we got some colors over the decades. We go through transitions and we try to figure out what looks good during that fashion time of that period and that age. So this kind of where we at with it today, but you never know what we may come with next year. We may go Columbia blue, royal blue. It's all over.
It's good to get one of y'all admit.
North Carolina Tar Heel blue.
I get y'all some shirts. What size y'all wear? I make sure I send some shirts up there on the hill for y'all.
Nah, we good.
Right, man. Hey, you make sure you be up here November 2nd. That's what you do.
So y'all don't want to show what happened to all this HBCU love one hill and y'all can't rock no blue and gold?
Hey, hold up. CJ got the best question. Which blue did y'all wear when y'all got beat down last week in the event center?
Oh, okay. I see I tried to come in here, huh? I thought this was gonna be
Hey,
I see what I'm into now. I'm in the doghouse. That's where I'm at.
I'll take a shirt because I need something to wipe furniture down with.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. You know what?
We're gonna talk real good
for no Alabama A&M shirts. Nobody. Y'all
we
make
gonna
some
talk
real
real good.
Blaise.
He go, okay.
Hey, we're gonna talk real good tonight, man. This is gonna be real fun. We're gonna talk about SWAC tournament, and you know what I'm saying, we got a lot going on with that. So, you know, man, I'm gonna pull up the slide. You know, here's the women's, you know, and you know, just so everybody know, the tournament kicks itself off tomorrow, down there in Birmingham. And so Perry, you know, we know about Jackson State is, you know, they're the overwhelming favorite, but also they were the overwhelming favorite last year. And a team that you know very well pulled off an upset of them in the semifinals on their way to winning the SWAC championship. So, you know, talk a little bit about this from your thoughts, man, about this women's, and then everybody else we can fill in the round table, and those in the comments, go ahead and make your comments as we go through this women's bracket. Take it away, Perry.
Well, I do like Jackson State and what they've done so far this year, rocking an 18-game winning streak, coming into the tournament. They are the hottest team, and nobody has been close all season with dealing with them. And so, you know, right now they're projected to possibly win the SWAC tournament, maybe a 15 seed, which overall is good for the conference, where we've seen the traditional play-in game, the 16 seed, having to earn your way into what they call March Madness. So right now, Jackson State is the favorite just because of what they come in, getting some votes for the top 25. But you look at the opponent they taking on, Prairie View. Sandy Pugh is an experienced coach in this conference, of course, a former coach at Southern University, but now has her program, and she's with the Panthers. Their best win on the season was against UAPB, in which they won 66-57. But they're 0-2 on the season against Jackson. I got to look at that game and just say Jackson. Even though you have the experience of Sandy Pugh, Coach Tamika Reed, Jackson State, I think just too much for them. You look right there at that bottom spot. That look like, what's that? What's that in that maroon and white? What kind of?
You know what it is.
What is that?
It's a bulldog.
I just wanted to make sure the Bulldogs was in the house because y'all got your hands full with UAPB and Coach Dawn Thornton having her program have the best season they've ever had since transitioning to Division I basketball. And so you look at UAPB, 16-15 on the season, 11-7 in conference play. They got a good win over the University of Arkansas in non-conference 74-70, but taking on Alabama A&M. And I'm sure y'all know what happened the last time y'all saw UAPB enter arena, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You saw a cat fight amongst the cats, right?
We did.
Alabama A&M getting that victory 67-59, but UAPB getting that one to start off in conference play 75-67 over A&M. I like this matchup. I know A&M up until towards this latter part of the season, they were rolling on a winning streak, something I paid attention to as well. So I think this is a tough one. UAPB, we never really got word on who was suspended, what really happened, or what it's gonna look like moving forward. But I still think UAPB is a team who played for the SWAC championship last year. They are still a contender. And you look at Zay Green, their star player, but they have some other pieces. It's just what's gonna be available for them. But you know what? I think the Golden Lions get past y'all in this one. I think the Golden Lions get past you. So I'm going to have UAPB advance in this one. So Jackson versus UAPB in the semifinal for me on that side. On the other side, I look at Grambling State. They're a hot team coming into the tournament on a 10-game win streak, 21-8 overall, 15-3 in conference play. Their best win over the season, they got a 70-67 victory over Arizona State. They take it on Florida A&M. Shout out to the Rattlers. Their first time ever in the SWAC Basketball Tournament since joining the SWAC. They come in at 9-20, 8-10. And not necessarily say come in a staggering, but that's their first appearance in the tournament. 59-53 was their best win on the season. They got it at home against Southern. FAMU went 0-2 against Grambling this year. So I see Grambling getting past FAMU, and that one FAMU just happy to be here. And then in that last spot, you're talking about Southern University, last year's tournament champion, taking on Alcorn State. Southern 15-14 on the season, 13-5 in conference play. Come in with a 4-game win streak. Their best win on the season was going against Alcorn. They went 1-0, 61-58. They snuck out of there with one. Alcorn State 10-19, 8-10. I see Southern get past that. And I'm going to go Grambling Southern, the Bayou Classic on the hardwood for that semifinal, and UAPB versus Jackson on the other side.
You know, I just want to interject real quick. I can see that Bayou Classic matchup happening, and I'm so disappointed that our counterparts in Montgomery did not make it in Birmingham, so we can have
Is this shade that I'm hearing?
Oh, that's absolute shade. Oh, absolute shade. So, you know, we could have had the same. We could have had, you know, win Magic City for Bayou, but no thanks, you know, Alabama State for still being at home. All right.
Yeah, you know something. So just for FAMU, just shout out to Ariana Grizzle for being the player of the year on the women's side.
Yep.
You know, for them, she had a phenomenal year. I know that their team has you know, as Perry said, they're struggling in. But one significant injury, and I was actually going to mention this, but CJ beat me to it. Kariah Beck, man, for UAPB, she tore her ACL last game against Jackson State. And she was named today to the second team of the SWAC for the women. So that's a big loss for UAPB as they get ready to take on our Bulldogs. Now, one thing about this whole thing, you know, I really do believe that Grambling may pose the biggest threat to Jackson State. I mean, it's not just the fact that Grambling finished second. I mean, just by the eye test, everybody, if you've really seen Grambling and A&M fans, they had a good look at them because they were just up there on Thursday. And, you know, but they may pose the biggest threat to Jackson State. But Jackson State, man, right now, just I think the biggest thing for them is the experience of last year and having a letdown last year. It seems like every game that they've played, the entire SWAC schedule has had a chip on that shoulder that said, we're not letting it happen this year. So, you know, I agree with you. I agree with you about everything you said, except for I believe that our Bulldogs are going to beat UAPB in that first quarterfinal. But preach on, Perry White. Preach on.
You was talking about Grambling in that matchup, of course, riding a 10-game win streak coming into the conference tournament. But the team who matched up the best so far this season was Southern against Jackson State on the road. Southern had that game won with about 3 minutes left in that game. Facts. And Jackson went on a run and ultimately closed the game out. Southern missed some free throws down the stretch. But that was the closest I've seen a team able to get to Jackson and really have Jackson flustered for pretty much the majority of the game. But Jackson found a way to close it.
Yeah, it was 29-8 in the fourth quarter.
What's that?
29-8 in the fourth quarter.
That's a hell of a run, if you ask me, when the team is trying to close it out. But for some reason, when I'm looking at Southern and Grambling, Grambling has got the best of Southern so far this year. But it's tough when you're talking about that third time. It just feels like when Southern gets into the tournament, they're another type of team. We saw that last year. They upset Jackson State in the semifinals, ultimately took on UAPB in the conference tournament championship. But I like UAPB on that side, but that is a major loss when you look at losing one of your players. A&M is a team that is hot. They may not have ended the season as strong as they wanted to with that winning streak, because they could have very well come into this tournament with a winning streak like Grambling at the rate of the games that they won. But for me, if there's a team that I just think can personally match up the best right now, because it seems like it's Jackson State and everybody else, I will personally, no bias, but to Southern, they've shown for me the greatest potential to be a threat to Jackson State. But it is March Madness and anybody can do it.
Mr. White, I don't know if we're going to talk about this later, but Tamika Reed, she there next year, she gone.
You know, that's a tough one. And I think...
That's a
all
hot
right,
topic.
I got you. Tamika Reed, if a job is available, I could see her wanting to move on. I mean, the idea is either she wants to settle down and commit to Jackson State, and Jackson State has to settle down and commit to her. That means raising funds. What does the program now look like? The success is obviously there. Now, because you have the success, when you look at a program that's able to do that, you got to sustain it. So that means you have to start putting back funding back into that program. on top of getting her resources that she needs. If you want to be able to keep her, because that'll be hard for her to look at a school that's going to possibly give her the resources and the funding and whatever she needs to continue to elevate the program for whatever it needs. If success at the end of the day is what she's bringing, Jackson State has to want to make that investment. And if I think they do, maybe she has that love. But I had this conversation with somebody else early this week. What if she leaves and they go out and get Coach Don Thornton at UAPB?
That's true.
Question.
You thought about that? Considering what she's been able to do at UAPB, giving them their best seat. I never thought in my entire life I'd see UAPB beat the University of Arkansas in any sport. And she went up, and that's the other hill. Since y'all on the hill at Alabama A&M, they call the Razorbacks the hill too. She took her team up there and she walked away with a 74-70 victory and upset the University of Arkansas. So she's a coach, I think, in high demand. Unfortunately, her team kind of unraveled at the wrong time. But I think her demand, and if I'm Jackson and Coach Reed does leave, I do call Coach Don Thornton and ask her would she like to come over to Jackson, Mississippi.
Well, we do know what was it last night? The Utah State women's has a job open.
Yeah, wow.
They
got fired right in the tunnel.
Right.
She was way better than me, because if that was me, their press conference would have went in entirely.
Sure would have.
But you know what? That lady was 24-90, man. I was like,
oh wow.
You had to have some form of an idea. Now, maybe she was expecting to get the plane ride back and then say, hey, let me see you in the office on Friday morning or something. I know she was expecting that.
They let her go in the tunnel.
He said in the tunnel. Said, hey, I just want to let y'all know it ain't gonna be here next year.
So are we taking our biases aside here and saying that Jackson State probably is gonna win the championship, or are we gonna go with the Bulldogs and Southern?
Honestly, man, you know, I know like what Perry said. So Perry, you got Jackson State, you said UAPB in one semifinal. Then you got Grambling against Southern. So let me get this straight. You're gonna say that it's Jackson State against Southern in the final, correct? All right. Now I'm gonna put you on the spot with them against your alma mater. Let's hear it. What's your pick?
I'll go back. Listen, it's hard for somebody to put you on the spot when there's a team that you know you graduated from and you love. But I'm talking basketball. Put all that aside. I'm talking matchups. Right. From what I saw with Southern in the past and this year, let's even go back to last year and Jackson State in the way that they dominated the conference. Southern found a way. For some reason, it just didn't seem like they backed off. They gave Jackson State everything, and they got past them in the semifinals last year. Those two teams, traditionally, when you look at them battle, it goes back and forth, regardless of what's happened. And these are two teams traditionally that you looked at the top of women's basketball in the SWAC. Jackson State as of late, and Southern right there in the mix, just winning the championship last year. So that's why I'm looking at these two teams. These are two well-coached programs. Carlos Funches at Southern University, I think sometimes may not get enough love for what he's been able to do at Southern. Play small ball, guard play, not the biggest like you would see for Jackson State. But then you look at Tamika Reed, her team nonstop for the past 5 years have pretty much run the SWAC. But although they won the regular season championship, they didn't get the tournament bid last year because of Southern. These are just two championship programs, I think, that when the time matters in March Madness, they get it done. And they've shown it traditionally that they get it done. So I don't see anything otherwise, especially looking at the trajectory of both the programs and their last matchup, of why that would be any different at this point.
Jay the Great, what you got?
Wow, I'm on the spot. Honestly, I think Jackson State comes with a chip on their shoulder. Like, I am rooting for my Bulldogs, Lord knows. But to see Southern dominate them last year at the tournament, I got a chance to watch that game in person, and it was so intense. I think Jackson State they're on a mission. I think they're locked in, and I just don't see anybody stopping them on this side.
Hey, they call it March Madness for a reason. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I mean it's March is mad, and I'm rooting for my Bulldogs to be the ones to do it. But if we're just completely taking bias out of it, they're on a warpath. So
well, let me put all y'all on the spot then, because everybody feeling A&M can get past UAPB. What does A&M look like in that matchup with Jackson State in the semifinal?
I was definitely gonna get to that, but I was just gonna give T. Gooden and Dave their chance to make their picks, and then I'll give you my answer after they say it. Go ahead, T. Gooden.
Well, yeah. So I'm gonna Jackson State over Prairie. I think we beat Pine Bluff.
Yeah, we beat
we beat Pine Bluff. I'm gonna go with Southern over Alcorn, and I'm gonna go with Grambling over FAMU. Easy choices. As much as I love that maroon and white, that's all I got in my closet. Again, matchups. I just think we play good defense, but I think Jackson State has too much of offensive power, and we won't be able to stop them on offense. So they're going to the championship. And that Grambling Southern Bayou Classic basketball in Birmingham, that 2 versus 3 game, it's gonna be a good one, man. And I plan on being down there. That's at 11 o'clock in the morning. No, I won't. So I plan on watching that on ESPN Plus. But I don't know who's gonna win that one, man, because I've seen Grambling, I've seen Southern, and if I had to pick right now, I'll go with Graham over Southern. So I'll say Graham versus JSU in the championship. JSU for the win.
All right, Dave.
Now, I
got the same. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Dave, you got the same?
Yeah, I got the same as T. But when it comes down to us against UAPB, one struggle for our team that I think we have to overcome, and if we can do this, I think we can beat UAPB, is that third quarter. I don't know what it is about the third quarter. If you look at the game between us and UAPB, we were pretty points-wise evenly matched. But that third quarter is when it just went downhill there. And if we can overcome that third quarter, I think we can come out on top of UAPB.
Okay. Jen, you were saying?
And I'm sorry for cutting you off. I think Graham does feel disrespected by the postseason awards, so I think they're going to be coming in hot. So the game is 11 o'clock on the 15th. I'm going to be tired, but I'll be there. That's going to be a must see to see if Southern advances, to see that Grambling Southern game.
So to me, the schedule and the makeup of the schedule is going to have a lot to say in how it plays out. First off, Jackson State sits in the catbird seat with that 1 seed. By getting a win over Prairie View, they'll have the entire second day off, just like Grambling will. So Grambling and Jackson State winning will have the entire second day off. And then I expect us to win a 4-quarter game against UAPB.
Yes.
I think it's going to be real tight, but I think we win a 4-quarter game. And the reason why I say we're going to win a 4-quarter game is because the past 2 seasons we've gotten there as a higher seed, we've gone one and done. And I think that there's a lot of motivation to at least stick in this thing longer than one day. But I think when we did play Jackson State, we played them a long time ago, and it didn't go well in the second half. They murdered us in the second half. I think it'll be a lot closer game this time, but Jackson State will beat us. On the other side, Southern is going to have to deal with that time because they're going to have 24 hours between games where Grambling will have a day off. And I think that's going to matter a lot here. And I think that's why I got to give the nod to Grambling to beat Southern. And Jackson State, Grambling in the final, I got Jackson State getting there, cutting down those nets, man, avenging everything from last year. And I think Tamika Reed is going to do a walk-off in this one. I do not expect her to be back at Jackson State next year because somebody's going to offer her a lot more to do a lot more.
And before we move on to the men's bracket, do we think like each of you guys think Tamika Reed goes to be a head coach somewhere at a bigger school, or she goes to be an assistant somewhere?
Oh, she gonna be a head coach. She gonna be a head coach. She ain't gonna leave a head coach job to be an assistant. She will be a head coach somewhere else.
Personally, you know, my personal feelings, I would love for her to stay in the SWAC. Like she brings, you know, something masterful to the SWAC. But realistically, especially when Coach Don Staley shouted her out, like she has the attention of the big program. And so it's gonna be a difficult choice. So we're gonna see.
Yeah. So that's the women's. All right, now let's get into the men's, y'all. Now, hold on. Is who replaces her since y'all know she's leaving?
I don't think anyone said.
We don't know.
We don't know. We don't know, and we don't care right now. We're just talking.
Hypotheticals.
Did you not just hear me say that I hope she stays? Like
we don't know, and we don't care. We're just hypothetical speaking.
But like I said, you can't get all sentimental now. You can't start talking about no loyalty and all this old stuff, man. You got to do what you got to do for your own career.
Right. I see y'all jumping on that Tiger, man.
I mean,
I ain't jumping on him. I'm just bringing it up. We just having conversation. We just having conversation.
Somebody
we don't know
say,
we don't know she's leaving.
They said Tamika Reed was leaving, so
yeah, we didn't say that. I literally said
out there.
We just said we think. I just said I think.
I hear y'all.
Yeah. Hey, all right, Perry. Talk about that. Let's go through the rundown, man, on this men's tournament. What you got for us?
Man, first of all, who do you think more is exciting this year? Is it the women's tournament or does it seem like the men's tournament?
Hey, man, I think it's the men's. I think it's the men's, man.
The women's is too easy.
The women's is kind of.
It's so wild.
Y'all just already take all the glory on the women's side, don't you?
Yeah, Jackson State gonna win the women's easy. This one you can flip a coin
up in the air.
You can cast a wide net, man, over this whole bracket, and you can catch more than one squad. So go for it, Perry. Tell us about it.
All right, well, let's start with Grambling State, the #1 team. They won the regular season championship, taking on Alabama State. These two teams, hey, y'all know about the Hornets very well, don't you?
Yeah, sure do.
I didn't know if that was allowed for me to call them by their full name or y'all call them that other school. I don't know what y'all call them, but I'm going to give them some respect today. They made it to the tournament, and guess what? They beat Grambling in the last game
everything but their name
of the season, 87-84. That was their best win on the season, if you ask me. But Grambling comes in 17-14, 14-4 in conference play. Alabama State 13-18, 8-10 in conference play. Both these teams split. This should be an interesting game. I'm gonna go Grambling in this one. I think Grambling gets it done. I think they got to flex their muscle. Last year they got put out early. No, excuse me. They played for the championship last year. But if you're gonna come in this year as the regular season champion, you can't struggle like this. You're gonna have to go ahead and get out of there and be thankful to be in that #1 seed. So I'm going with Grambling with that one. Right there below them, Southern versus Bethune-Cookman. Y'all talking about a matchup I don't like. I do not like this matchup. Coach Reggie Theus and Bethune-Cookman has been my dark horse for the entire season. I said at any given point, this team can beat anybody in the SWAC at any given Saturday or any given Monday. And they've shown and found themselves in the playoffs, the tournament. Southern University 18-13 on the season, 12-6 in conference play. Bethune-Cookman 16-15, 11-7. Bethune-Cookman best win of the season for me was an 82-71 victory over Jackson State. For Southern, they got a 1-point victory, 60-59 over Mississippi State. Southern went 0-2 against this team. Both games, they blew a second half lead. On the road, lost in overtime, 83-81 in Daytona Beach. And then at home just a couple weeks ago, 67-61, in which they were up big in both halves in those games. So I'm looking at this one. Southern still, when I go back, and once again, I take the blue off, basketball. It's tough to beat a team 3 times, but Southern still, when it matters, they were a team that was picked to win the SWAC. They were picked for a lot of people to advance to the NCAA tournament without their starting player and Terrion Joseph. So that's going to hurt them. But if Southern can knock down their free throws, which has hurt them down the stretch, I real life think Southern can beat Bethune-Cookman in this one. And I'm going to go with Southern because it's tough to beat a team 3 times. So I'm going to go Southern over Bethune-Cookman. Then let's go to Alcorn State, a team that right now I don't think anybody wants to do. They're coming into the tournament at a 9-game winning streak, 14-17 on the season, 13-5 in conference play. Best win of the season for me was an 82-79 victory over Texas Southern. They're taking on your Bulldogs. I hate y'all in the way of them big bad Braves, but it's going to be a tough one for you. Alabama A&M 10-21 on the season, 9-9. Your best win, you got a 10-point victory over Grambling, which that was big on the season, 60-50. Last time you guys took on Alcorn got the victory, 74-71. I'm going to go with Alcorn in this one. I think the winning streak continues, and right now they are a tough team. And then that last one, Texas Southern versus Jackson State. Texas Southern 14-15, 12-6 on the season. They got a victory as well over Grambling, 54-52, taking on Jackson State, who's 15-16, 11-4 in conference play. I don't know when I look, 11-7.
11-7.
I'm not sure when I look at Jackson State if they have enough. They had a bad loss, and to me, that worst loss on the season was against Florida A&M. It was an 88-86 loss, but then they got a 1-point victory on the season, 73-72 over Missouri. But looking at the way Missouri ended in SEC play, they didn't win not one conference game. So I don't know how much validation I go back and put on that. But both these teams split during the regular season, with Texas Southern losing 73-64 the first time, but getting that 80-70 victory on the second side. I'm going to go Texas Southern in this one. So I'm going to go Grambling Southern once again, the Bayou Classic, in the semifinal, and Alcorn and Texas Southern on that side.
Okay, so now when you said now you talked about Alabama State, and I have to say this though, even though it's rivals, I do have to give Alabama State their props, because after they were beaten on the Hill, they were pretty much done.
They were big.
UAPB definitely is going to think about that the whole off season, because all they needed to do was win one of their final 2 games, and they would be in that spot.
They had a shot at Jackson State. They just coughed it up.
And shout out, Alabama State won the game that they needed to have, and they did it. So they're there. But them playing Grambling, I don't believe that Grambling is going to allow them to beat them again. Even though it will be a partisan crowd, those that do come up from Montgomery, it will be a partisan crowd.
Do they travel?
It'll be some. I'll say it'll be some.
You got the Birmingham. You got the Birmingham
folks too.
The Birmingham, Alabama State folks.
Yeah, there's a good amount of Birmingham alumni.
And it's a night game, so everyone's going to be off work.
Yeah,
it's going to be black and gold down in that arena.
Yeah. So I think Grambling gets this one done. Now you mentioned in this game with Southern against Bethune-Cookman, you said it's hard to beat a team 3 times. We beat y'all 3 times last year.
I was gonna say that, but you beat me to it.
I was gonna say it too.
And it wasn't hard at all. It was actually easy.
That's why we had to get rid of our coach.
Yeah, we sent Sean Woods to the unemployment line. I was there. I was sitting there. I was like, man, we was cooking them boys that night.
I saw that game live, man, and I was just. What happens? Look, now this is where the shit talk start. You don't lose to no Alabama A&M and Southern. That's just something we don't do. So that's terms to get fired around here, losing to Alabama A&M. And unfortunately, that's what happened with Coach Sean Woods. We can't allow that if that's what's going to be taking place right here in Baton Rouge.
Okay, so what happened this year then?
You tell me.
I mean, y'all don't lose, but it's starting to be a trend.
I know we beat y'all once we split it, didn't we?
We split.
Yeah, we won it one this
year.
Recently,
that's
I
better
can touch
than
the last
0-3.
game. I can touch the last game.
Huh?
I mean, recently we beat the spots off of y'all.
Well, that's what's up. Congratulations that you finally have gotten in the position.
Finally,
to say we beat the spots up. Congratulations. And I'm happy for you guys up there on the hill. I really am.
Yeah. All right. Here we go.
Bill's pride, right? Bill's pride.
So let me just say this here with this game against Bethune-Cookman. Reggie Theus did a phenomenal job this year to get this team back into position. And this is their first time in the SWAC tournament. And I just believe, man, Bethune-Cookman. I just believe that Bethune-Cookman is good enough to take this one from those Jags, man. I think this is usually the 4-5 game is usually the most evenly matched. I think this is going to be a real exciting game, brother. Real exciting. And I think Bethune-Cookman is going to win a close one. Now, I'll save us for the last of my comments. This next game, Tigers on Tigers. This one, man, man. Now, you know, Texas Southern last year, nobody had them winning that tournament last year.
At all.
Those guys, they took advantage of that schedule. They beat Alcorn in that opening game, got a day off, and then they picked us off on less than 24 hours rest. And they rode that momentum on into the tournament. They're so experienced. Shout out to Coach Johnny Jones. He just won his 400th game. I think that Mo and the guys, I think that he's done some good things, but I think that the experience of Johnny Jones just being in this position, it means a whole lot. And I think that that the Texas Southern Tigers are going to take out Jackson State in this one. But Jackson State is going to make this a dog fight.
Yes.
All right. Now our game. We played Alcorn again. Way back. We only played them once this season. It's been a long while since we played them.
Long time.
Alcorn is different, and we're different when we played. You mentioned it. We lost to them by 3 points, right? When we played them. Alcorn's the hottest team. Bussy has got these boys rolling. It's just something about my feeling in this one that I think that we're going to be able to shock this team. I think we're going to catch them at the right time and shock this team. I think it's good. I think it's good that we get them early, too. We play them right now, tomorrow in the first session. I think we get on them, and I think we get our lick back on Alcorn, and we take them out in a full 40-minute game. All right? Now, this was set up for me. I've got Grambling against Bethune-Cookman. And then I got us against Texas Southern.
Oh.
Now, as much as I respect everything that Reggie Theus has done, I think that Grambling right now, I think the hunger that they have, because let's just say this for everybody. Grambling has never advanced to the NCAA tournament as a Division I program on the men's side. Last year, they got right there on the doorstep. I think that Grambling takes out Bethune-Cookman and gets back in the championship.
Yes.
Now, on the other side, Texas Southern against us. Unfortunately, this is where the gas is going to come out of the tank for our Bulldogs. I think we're good enough to get one win, but I don't see us getting two. And I see a rematch of last year's championship game with Grambling against Texas Southern. And I'm going to say it again. Grambling has never been to the NCAA tournament as a men's program, and they still won't. I got Texas Southern going back to back. Three times in a row winning this tournament.
It'll be 4.
Oh, 4 times. I mean, need to add another back. Back to back to back to back. 4 in a row. Texas Southern. That's what I got.
So here's what I got. Alabama State, I'm glad you're all hyped, but Grambling rested their starters. So we'll see. We'll see what's gonna happen on the 13th, which is what's tomorrow? Yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. That Southern BCU game. I'm gonna have to go with BCU, man. I'm gonna go with Bethune-Cookman. I think they're gonna beat Southern. So that's what we got. We got Grambling versus Bethune. Got us taking on the tall task to beat Alcorn. The last time we played Alcorn, we had Dalen Smith. He was actually playing. He was the leading scorer with 17 points. We won't be without him this time, but that frees up some. We got a good bench. We could get the points from other places. I have Texas Southern over Jackson State. So I got Grambling actually going to the championship. And I have I got my Bulldogs going to the championship. I think we shocked the world. Bulldog versus Grambling championship, and we winning the SWAC basketball tournament this year.
Say it again for the folks in the back. T.
We're winning the SWAC basketball tournament men's this year. Chad Moody tournament MVP.
30 blocks.
We're gonna go to the play-in. We're gonna go to the play-in. We're gonna be the first SWAC team men's to win a play-in game in a long time. Then we'll be the 16th seed and get beat by Houston.
He just wrote the greatest fairy tale ever, and I love it.
Hey, I love it, man. I'm gonna be dreaming about that one for the next 3 nights. Go ahead, Jay the Great.
Ooh, it's so hard to come behind that. Like, what y'all want me to say? Now, I have to start this off with a statement. So a while ago, and I did say this on the last show, I said that, you know, if the season were to end, Alabama State would be at home. And I was, at the time, they were 9th. And they, you know, did what they did what they needed to do to beat Grambling at home. So I'm going to give you your props for that. With that being said, that's where the buck stops. Grambling is going to come in. They know, like honestly, this year Grambling did not play well in the state of Alabama. They struggled against us, and they lost to Alabama State. I think they know that, and I think they're going to come in again laser focused. So I think this is where Alabama State gets off the ride. Going to the Southern Bethune-Cookman game, I wanna, you know, go with everyone and say Bethune-Cookman is going to win, but I think I'm gonna pick.
Like, come on.
I think I'm gonna pick Southern. Going to the Texas Southern Jackson State game, I think all of the luck for Jackson State is going to be on the women's side. I see TSU pulling it off. I hear Wayne saying it's going to be a dog fight, but I think, you know, they say the SWAC tournament is a TSU invitational. I think they're really going to really show out that game. And now we go to the 2 o'clock matchup where I will be at. Hopefully I'll still have my voice at the end of this game. Those Bulldogs from Normals Hill against the I guess I don't want to call them the Big Bad Braves. I'll call them I mean, you know, the little Braves from Alcorn. You know what? I'm going with T. I'm rooting for the upset. It's 2 o'clock. You are in Birmingham. A&M is, you know, that's home. That's just Huntsville South.
We're already in Birmingham now, rested. You know what I'm saying? Getting our massages. We good.
So, I'm going for the upset. Let's go Bulldogs. Chad Moody, 100 blocks. 1,000,000 blocks. All right, so cool. Semifinal. So now, what sets this up is the semifinal game is at 8:30 on March 15th. Last year, we ran into we had a late game, and then we had a turnaround game the afternoon, and we had to run into Texas Southern, and that hurt us. Mm-hmm. Now we're well rested going into TSU to win. Whew, it's a tall order. I'm gonna come back to that. All right, so we got Grambling over Southern in the semifinals on the other side. So I got Graham coming out to the championship. In the semifinals, A&M versus TSU. I really want my Bulldogs to finally climb over that TSU hump. I'm not sure that happens this year. In my heart, we beat TSU. But if I'm taking bias out, I see TSU advancing to the championship. And I see Graham versus TSU, and I see TSU winning the tournament.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hey, is it the 4 and 5? That's what we were last year. and we played the next day at 15 at 2
Yep,
o'clock.
that's
right?
exactly what happened to the winner of Southern and Bethune-Cookman.
And so they're gonna, whoever that is in that 4 and 5, gonna run into the same thing that we ran into.
And see, the 8 seed was what Texas Southern was.
Right.
So Texas Southern had won that 1-8 game, got that full day off.
Right.
And that 4-5 winner, I remember I was there. We walked off the court at 10:49.
Yes.
10:49, and we were back on the court again at 2 p.m. the next day.
Yeah, I didn't get home to midnight after that game. I didn't get home to midnight. So I was tired. So I can only imagine, the players that actually had to play were tired. So, but I know that was my unbiased pick, but my biased pick is I have A&M winning it all. Yeah. But it's
don't even ask David, because I know what David's gonna be carbon copy of what I said. Bulldogs winning it all, going to the NCAA tournament, and we're gonna call it quits when we get there though.
Damn right. But I was gonna pick Southern over Bethune-Cookman. Did you pick Southern over Bethune-Cookman?
No, I picked Bethune-Cookman, but to me that's a toss up.
Yeah, I was picking Southern over Bethune-Cookman.
Hey, Perry, go ahead and finish your picks, man.
I will say this. I'm gonna go with Grambling over Bama State, and I said Southern over Bethune, but I will go back and say I believe if Bethune does beat Southern, I see Bethune making it all the way to the championship. I just think they are a tough team. They can match up with anybody in the conference at any given time, and they are the dark horse. And I seriously consider them. If they can get past Southern, I see them pushing, just getting those 3 games, or 2 games for sure, to get to the championship. And I would take them at that next one. I got Alcorn versus Texas Southern. I'm going to go, Alcorn don't never show up big when it matters. I'm going to go Texas Southern with Bethune-Cookman for the championship. That's my side one, right? But other than that side one, I'm going to go Grambling versus Texas Southern.
Okay.
And I'm like you, Texas Southern gets it done. I think when you just look at their coach, when you look at this program, hey, they are the SWAC. And for 3 consecutive years, they have represented the SWAC in the NCAA tournament. Last year, they had injuries throughout the season, and they got their team back right on time when it mattered for March Madness, and that's exactly what it was for them to go ahead and win the championship. So I see them getting it done again this year. So I'm going to go Texas Southern versus Bethune-Cookman if Bethune can get past Southern. But if Bethune loses to Southern, I'm going to go Texas Southern, Grambling with Texas Southern getting the victory.
Yeah, man. So basically, we all, as a consensus, we had Jackson State winning the women. And I mean, Texas Southern, it's just, like I said, we all have similar reasons. For those of us that did pick Texas Southern, we have similar reasons. Again, now it's like, as soon as we pick all this, now watch all hell just break loose.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Bama State, Alabama A&M,
be a bunch of upsets. And all lower seeds get into the semifinals.
Hey, I'm
hopping in the car.
Hey, my dream
what would it be if it was Alabama State and Alabama A&M meeting up for the championship?
That's what I was just going to say. That's my dream matchup. That's my dream matchup.
Would be completely sold
It'll be sold out. Yeah,
that would be a sellout. That will be a sellout. That's my dream.
You Alabama folks dreaming big. Oh, I like
now
that.
You now. Hey, now the chances of that happening. There's 2 chances that happens. Slim and none.
Right.
You'll probably
get an ice cube in hell before that happens.
For real. But if it did happen, man, you talk about the biggest walk-up crowd you ever saw. Right. Man, that ticket window, them folks that didn't expect to work that day, they would be working that day.
Right. Yeah. And I'll fully take advantage of this media credential I have.
Everybody getting called in.
Listen, I would be there because it'll just be Magic City Classic on the hardware. Because one thing about it,
hold on, man. I just saw him say it. I'll talk to the rest about making that happen tonight.
I'm so tired of him.
Hey, you know what, Wayne? Mr. White, we extended the invitation. He's great with sports. He didn't pick us to win the women's game or men's game. Man, he didn't pick us to win a thing. And them losing is everything.
You talking about me?
Yes.
I told you it's nothing personal. It's strictly business.
Anything else to win? Nothing.
Hey, it's nothing personal. It's just strictly business. Okay, so I guess I'll do this, and I ask you guys. Traditionally, when you look at A&M, both men and women, when it comes tournament time for the SWAC tourney, what has been you guys' viewpoint of your team's performance when it comes to the SWAC tournament?
We had one SWAC tournament almost.
I mean, the only time we ever won was in 2006.
That's why when you go back
2005, it was 05.
Yeah, it was
I didn't pick no A&M on the men and women. I'm kind of just basing it off the history here.
Hey, it's been many seasons.
I respect that.
Since 2005, it's been many seasons when men didn't even make it. A lot of times the men didn't even make it. Then there were years when the women didn't make it, but the men, there were years when both teams didn't make it. And then when we have gotten in there, it's been one and done. Mm-hmm. In fact, our last 2 trips on the men's side has been to the semifinals.
Yeah.
We were 4 or 5 game 2 years in a row. We were the 5th seed 2 years in a row. We beat FAMU, lost to Alcorn. Last year we beat Southern, lost to Texas Southern. You know what I'm saying? So our history has not been that good.
That's true.
It just hasn't. And for me to say that, for me to sit here and just want us to win, I would love for us to win. Yeah. But do I believe we're going to win? I can't do that. Because here's the thing for me, right? I'm non-biased all the way. I've always been non-biased. I do that in all my analysis. I do that in all. I just can't do it. Like even during football season, when I did my picks with G, I said we're not going to win at Southern, and they said, "Well, how you not going to pick us to win at Southern?" I said, "We never win at Southern."
I'm telling you, you lose your job.
Crazy. Something always happens.
Hold on, wait. Now, Wayne, hold on, pause, because Perry, you keep saying these little slick comments. Now.
I'm telling you from a different perspective. Y'all got to understand there are different perspectives, right? Y'all probably feel the same way if y'all lose to like
Valley.
Like y'all don't.
You're not gonna compare us to Valley though. See, I see what you're doing.
I get what he's saying, but
I get what he's saying, but Perry, let's not act like y'all ain't won a SWAC on football since 2013. Relax, y'all might be the Valley in this equation.
I know if we don't win no other game, if A&M on the football schedule, I can pretty much pencil that one in.
Ooh, November
2nd.
You sit by me.
And I'll be there.
Tell me when the last time y'all saw A&M beat us in football.
You sit by me. Well, we would have if y'all didn't cheat us in 2019.
There we go with the cheating now. There we go. The SWAC refs, I
the cheating allegations.
Hey, look, last year we beat ourselves. We turned that ball over so many doggone times.
I tell you, like me and Jen and Corey were there. Y'all were booing y'all quarterback.
We turned the ball over. We turned that ball over way too many times, man.
And that's
way too many times.
I know we transitioning. I don't know how y'all done kept Cornell Maynard this long. That's just
hey, wait a minute. How y'all hire Terrence Graves? How about that?
Hey, you might as well try something different. I mean, we saw Dooley and got him out quick. Y'all still hanging on to Cornell Maynard. I'm just like, I thought you would have wanted to go in a different direction, give yourself a better chance. I thought he's had plenty of opportunity to present and prove himself, but he's allowed Jackson State to since come up, FAMU since to come up, and right now it look like Bama State might be next.
So he just allowed all that on his own. Like Cornell Maynard is reading everybody else.
Y'all love Cornell Maynard.
Hey, look, man. Here's the thing. He's coming into this season where this is pretty much do or die. Now we know this is pretty much Coach Maynard's. This is put up or shut up year.
What does he have to do?
Me personally, so I had to.
And it's not just win the classic either, because everybody thinks if he win the classic, then he's saved. It's not just win the classic.
I had this conversation with someone at the basketball game the other day, and this is just my personal opinion. And you don't have to like it, and that's fine. I'm just Googling the schedule real quick because I don't have it pulled up. But I think he has to win 7, at least 8 games. And I'll tell you what the games that he has to win. Because we can't just keep beating people like Mississippi Valley and Pine Bluff. Those are givens.
Right.
So we can't just keep that.
That's what I was talking about.
So I'm looking at the schedule now. We play Auburn first. It's gonna be fun down there. That's all I can say. We're gonna eat barbecue. We're gonna have a good time.
That's for the band right there.
We should be Kentucky State. We should beat Fayetteville State. I'm not gonna get all up in arms if we beat those people. The next week we have Austin Peay. And if we win that, one, I'll be sold. But you know, those that's one of those games.
So y'all 2-2.
Yeah, we should be 2-2 at that point, and I'm okay with that. If we're 2-2, I'm totally okay with that.
Then we go to FAMU and
then we go to
SWAC opener.
Here's where I get my 8 from. We can't keep losing. Like, you got to beat these teams. Like, you got to get on the road and beat FAMU. You got to beat Jackson State in Mobile. Like, we can't keep. We can. Yes, so those are back-to-back games. We can't keep losing to Jackson State in Mobile. Like, we can't.
Because Mobile is a home game for us.
After that Jackson State A&M game, we got homecoming. BCU. We got to win homecoming. And then after that we got Classic. We can't lose Classic another year straight. Oh, hell no.
Let me stop you. Can I ask you a question before
ahead.
you go to past homecoming? Does he have to go 2-0 with FAMU and Jackson State? Because I mean, if you want to win the East, and you're talking about holding the East is wide open. If you ask me, you gotta win FAMU and Jackson State. If he comes out of there 0-2 or he splits, what does that look like from either perspective? 0-2.
It depends on the rest of the schedule.
It depends on the rest of the schedule and what everybody else does.
Okay.
Because here's the thing: FAMU also has to come to the vet. You know what I'm saying? Right. They got to come to the vet.
About for your coach and what he's capable of doing to win games.
See,
that has to be a requirement for me.
If you want the real perspective from me, this is how I feel. Like to what T said, you got to beat. He has to at least beat. He has to win the Classic. He has to at least beat either Jackson State or FAMU. He's got to beat Southern. He's got to beat the team. Bottom line, you got to beat the teams that you have not been beaten. We ain't beaten. We ain't beaten FAMU. We have not beaten Jackson State.
We blew a lead against FAMU.
We have not beaten Southern.
Yep.
We did beat Grambling 2 years in a row, but we play them again. But we got to beat them. So here's the realest of the real.
7 or 8
we play
games.
12 games. I believe he either needs to go 8-4 or 9-3. And if we go 8-4 or 9-3, I can guarantee you with an 8-4 or 9-3 record, we are competing to win the East.
Right.
And then it becomes what happens from there. But I believe that he has to do that. If we go 6-6 or 7-5, it ain't good enough, and no one's gonna be able to support that.
So I'm hearing Connell Manor has to win the SWAC East.
I didn't say that. I said they need to contend, and I said if they win 8-4 or 9-3, they should be right there in the thick of things to compete for the East.
Because let me share this with y'all. I know it's a lot of newer SWAC fans, and you know they're accustomed to thinking, oh well, A&M has never really competed for the East. That's not true. We actually have 7 Eastern titles, and so for the Bulldogs that know the Bulldogs that are active, they remember that domination. And so we, are not okay with being middle of the pack. We're not okay with being middle of the pack. Usually our losses came to when we used to face Grambling in the SWAC championship, and we just now getting over that Grambling hump, but we were struggling with Grambling. But we didn't struggle in the East. So Jackson State was an easy win. Alabama State, we have 5-game winning streaks against them. So we're not a middle of the pack Eastern team. Historically, we're not. So moving forward, we just gonna have to dominate. Now, I see that Israel said we're losing to Alabama State. You lose to them. You don't worry about us. You worry about when you
Jackson State plays them, right? Well, they
got to play them in Montgomery this year,
right?
Hold on, what is this? You said why do you call A&M's tailgate stingy?
He said, here we go.
Yeah, he said ask Perry.
Why do you call the A&M tailgate stingy?
Y'all,
Our
I'm
tailgate
trying to keep the show going in the right direction. It's gonna make me go somewhere else with the show.
No, I'm just curious. People want to know.
I know they want to know because they trying to pump it up. They
messy. You
all
say
right,
they
so
being messy.
I tell you something. So y'all know I do a show with Scotty with Off Script.
Yeah,
and he was messing with Alabama A&M, right? He said he was coming up there, but he said out of all the schools he went to with the tailgate, Alabama A&M to him seemed to be the bougiest. Like when you walk around, it was like, you know, if you grab a plate, everybody asks, who was that from? Who he with? You know, so that's what I heard. So ever since then, I called y'all stingy and bougie. Because
so you're saying it based on what you heard, not what you know.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Come on,
well, Perry, let me tell you.
You gotta see for yourself.
Once again, I told you they was gonna lead it here.
Perry, let me give you this example. We all know what happened homecoming 2021, right? We already, homecoming 2021, we lost JSU.
Jackson State.
I was talking about when they left the scooter.
Yeah, that was that one.
Yeah, that was that.
61-15. We know.
We won't need all that. But anyway, I was at the game with a Jackson State Tiger. After that game, he got a plate. So if he got a plate after homecoming 2021 and nobody else did, I can't speak for those experiences. But if he got a plate after we got beat down.
That ain't what I heard.
I think, but that's why you got to see for yourself. Because you can ask anybody that visited us when we in the doghouse this year. They did not. We made sure they were fed. We made sure they had something to drink. You can ask Carrington there, Alabama State. You can ask anybody, and we don't do that now. So that's why people should figure out for themselves instead of just assuming.
Well, last time y'all came to Baton Rouge, I'm inviting y'all to come to Baton Rouge.
I was there last year.
They was there last year. They was there last year.
Was y'all on that bus?
No, we came individually. I drove myself. But yeah,
I was spots over there. I didn't know
I tailgated before the game. And I tailgated before the game and ate good. Sure,
I had a good time down there with the Southern
Good time.
But that's what I'm saying. That's all I hear. Everybody come to Baton Rouge, they say they had a good time. I'm just trying to clarify. I have not heard that on the other side.
You heard that once from him, and you ain't heard it from nobody else. That doesn't mean the word is born.
I'm just saying.
Listen. You come up there on November 2nd, and you see for yourself.
Man, if y'all tailgate, where is it at that point? Ain't nobody. Y'all ain't gonna be at that game, man.
On November 2nd
game.
Yeah. November 2nd, we'll be there. I'm coming from Ohio. I'll be there.
We don't miss games. What are you talking about?
We don't miss games.
I'm driving from Ohio.
I know y'all in the faithful. I'm with y'all. It ain't about y'all. I'm talking about the rest of them.
We ain't talking about the rest
of them. Now we finna do this. Because I see where you going. I see. No, we're not finna do this. See, we finna break all these preconceived notions about A&M on this show tonight.
Look at this here. No one else has ever said that about our tailgate.
I don't know who they talking about.
First of all, I met Ken Griffith Jr. in our in-game tailgate, so you can do whatever you want to say, whatever. But we're not talking about that. But all this, are y'all gonna be there? First of all,
man, this is funny, man. Who is this guy, man? BZ Nuke 2K7. He said folks be asking for your ID card and birth certificate. That's a lie, but it's funny. It's a funny lie. It's hilarious.
Y'all, that's my friend. Don't listen to him because he cuts.
Just check it out for yourself one time.
He love the Bulldogs.
Hey, Israel said, Perry White, you a whole. Are you sure you're not from?
Lord, am I sure I'm not from where?
Jackson.
He said, are you sure you're not from Jackson?
Hell no, I ain't from Jackson. Now I'm like y'all now. That's where I draw the line. Now. If y'all want to know draw the line, this stuff in Jackson. That don't mix at all. That's oil and water. That don't go.
Perry got upset. He was like, oh, no.
No, I don't play that right now. That's where I draw the line.
But y'all got to stop. Y'all hear somebody A&M 30 years and go just run with it. Just like
I don't know, man. I'm gonna tell you. I'll be honest with you. I've been to every school in the SWAC except Alabama A&M.
So you speaking from
come on, man.
Come on, now you gotta take us out.
From the jump before I even started this. I said I heard this from somebody else.
November 2nd,
Yeah, you
come
did.
on the hill to see your team.
The only way I'm
Come
coming
on
up there
up.
November 2nd if y'all beat FAMU and Jackson State. If y'all beat FAMU, Jackson State, I'm coming up there.
So it's conditions to supporting your school, is what I'm hearing.
Well, it's conditions of who we playing against, because you know if the game ain't work, it's just like, well, I catch.
What you mean? Because you supposed to be seeing your team. Now you talking about us showing up, and now you putting conditions on when you support your Jags.
Man, hey, anybody know me know I'm at that. Hey, look, I'm ready right now. Look, you know I'm ready right now. Defense, some come on now. I'm ready to hit a fight song right now.
Hey, you better come on up there with your boy Trey Mill. He
Right
coming.
now.
Kedrick coming.
Hey,
DJ
hold on, Wayne.
Jones.
Hold on,
all
Wayne.
of them.
Hold on, Wayne. Dr. Brown, our athletic director, just texted me. He said, "Tell Mr. White that you're invited to his doghouse, the athletic director's doghouse." He said you're invited, so make sure you come.
There it is.
So that's your place.
There
You got
it
a
is.
personal invitation from the AD. A personal invitation for the AD. So we'll see you there.
I set my stipulations. Connell Manor, I'm calling you out. Jackson State and FAMU. I'm calling them out. Connell Manor, I'm trying to help you keep your job, brother, and the people want it. They gonna act real cool and say you can split whatever. No, Connell Manor, you gotta beat FAMU and you gotta beat Jackson State. I'm calling him out. Since
I'm just saying,
playing and he yelled, "Get more fire! It's your time to shine, Connell Manor." Beat FAMU and beat Jackson State.
You just got an invitation from the
Man,
AD.
if you don't,
Right.
you just got an invitation from
Right. Look here, an invite from the AD. They just
And
reminding
the AD doghouse be laid out.
with
For
air
real.
conditioning. You
Laid
name me
out.
another.
For real.
You name me
For
another
real.
SWAC school that has in-game tailgating with air conditioning.
That's
Look
that
here,
bootleg
he
they was
letting you
talking
know
about.
for real. A&M sets it out.
And that's the Hornets saying that.
And that's from a Hornet. That's from
Hey,
a
check
Hornet.
this out. Check this out. Has your AD even invited you to one of his suite?
You talking about me?
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh, okay.
Y'all got, that's why I'm inviting y'all to Baton Rouge. Let me show you how we do it. This ain't the
You
first
already
AD
there.
invite. I've been in many suites. I've kicked in and had fun with many ADs around.
You
the
come
country.
kicking in this one. Come
Well, you
kicking
come-
in this
well,
one.
come
Kick
on
it
to
in
this
the
one then.
air.
You're gonna have a different perspective when you come kicking in this
Come
one.
kick it in the air.
Right.
I
Not
hope it
not
just
church
ain't
fan.
us there though. I would like to see some other.
See,
Some
there
other
you go with
bull-
that.
Hey, Wayne, I think it's 140. So we got to get this man off the screen. He keep going back to these preconceived notions.
Yeah,
and don't want
right.
to come through.
It's just a little friendly banter. It ain't all
Hey.
back in the can.
So listen, all
Hey,
jokes
Alabama
aside,
A&M
It's all
Bulldog
swag
fans.
love, though. That's what we do.
it's
Yeah.
all
This
cool,
is this
but
definitely what we do.
It's rare we get to see the A&M fans this far down south in Louisiana. So anytime I'm able to be in the presence of you guys, I want to enjoy. Hey, she was talking about the lure of Alabama A&M playing for championships. I was actually at the 2006 Alabama A&M SWAC championship when they played UAPB. And I came to that game and A&M won that game against UAPB. So I remember A&M was built on defense back in those days, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember them early 2000 years of Alabama A&M.
Okay, so hey, don't come here talk like we scrubs. Don't do that.
Well, that was 20 years ago, though.
We've gotten better.
I mean,
Sure.
you said that like it ain't been 11 years since y'all won the title. Don't do that.
We compete, though. I thought y'all had that one year when y'all was on the road at Alcorn. Now, I think they cheated y'all that year. You know that year I'm talking about? On the road at Alcorn?
I do know.
Yeah, I know
It was Aquil Glasses. It was the year. It was 2019. It was 2019.
2019.
We played them down there, and it was a touchdown pass with a guy. They say he had 1 foot in the back of the end zone, and it was close. It was subjective. But what I always say though is we did plenty of things. We didn't take advantage of some opportunities,
Right.
to where that would not have been a factor. You know
That's
what I'm
a
saying? So that's always my policy. You know, it's always easy for everybody to say, you pin a loss on one particular play at the end, and people say, well, they cheated us. They cheated us. And I always say, well, you've had many other opportunities in the game to prevent that from happening to you.
Correct.
So, officials are going to make calls or not make calls. It's just how the game rolls.
And to go back to it, I was at the spring game. I seemed to catch A&M and UAPB when you guys played in Jackson.
Mhm.
That spring game. I came to that game as well. So my mom is a graduate of UAPB. So anytime they get to the championship, I gotta go. I gotta be there. And so the past 2 times I've watched them, they play A&M outside of that game that they play Jackson. But I gotta ask y'all, and because I'm always curious. I know we talk basketball, but I rarely get to talk to A&M people. So I'm just my opportunity to ask what I've always been curious about.
Mm-hmm.
How big was the spring championship game, and to you guys, does it hold as much weight?
Oh, let me answer that. Oh, that's me. Okay, so one of the things I know is that people try to discredit what we did in the spring. However, I have a great memory. I remember when the spring was going on and everyone was bragging about potentially winning. I remember when Coach Odom.
Not only were they bragging, Jim, but they were begging for spring football.
Begging.
Mhm.
For
Mhm.
spring football. I remember when Coach Odoms, did his speech when they played Jackson State and took the knee against Jackson State instead of running up the score. I remember all of that. And so now that we're removed from it, everyone wants to downplay it as if they wasn't begging for the opportunity to win. So what we failed to realize is that during the spring, we had a full schedule. And I know y'all like to discredit and call it a COVID championship or whatever, but we had a full schedule. The teams that complain about that championship are the teams that either A, quit on us, or B, could not get themselves together to even field the team. So even with that, our coaching staff kept our team together throughout all the cancellations because these teams they kept canceling on us. And so even then, we went to go find games to play. So
we played at South Carolina State.
We went to go play South Carolina State and bring the SWAC a much needed win against a MEAC opponent. Because again, if y'all remember, the SWAC struggled with beating MEAC teams, but A&M did it easily. And then when they came around, we beat them again in the fall. So for those, if you want to discredit what we did in the spring of 2021, ask yourself why your team can do it.
Yeah, and also, this is a real good question right here. Said if Dion or Southern had won, would it have counted?
You know they would have. You know they would have.
You already know the like if Sanders would have won that in the first year, they would have. You thought they crowned him as the king. The following year, man, they would have named the stadium after him if he'd have won that. But since it's us and because like people don't like our coach for whatever reason, it doesn't matter because it's all good though.
Even though it was an abbreviated season, at that point, man, I was just happy to have football.
Right.
I was happy because there were a lot of people. Those are some tough times, man, and it brought a lot of joy to a lot of us. And also, even from UAPB's perspective, UAPB has not had any winning since that point. But you can ask those people. But it's not to throw any shade, though. Honestly,
it is for me because I talk that noise to my mom all the time.
But for me, I'm not throwing shade at UAPB. I'm just saying that was a lot of joy for them during that time. I mean, and that was a really, really, really wonderful game. I mean, it was competitive.
That game had me nauseous.
It was competitive. And I say this, man, the thing I also appreciate about that spring season is that we were the only game in town. A&M was on ESPN playing Jackson State, man.
Big ESPN, April. Not ESPN.
Yeah, the ESPN in April playing. You know what I'm saying? And that gave us the opportunity to know, or people to know, who A&M was for once. You know what I'm saying? So people can say what they want to say. People can call it a COVID championship. Say what you want to say. The record book says that we won a championship. We have a banner up, and it's always going to be up.
And our players got their rings in a timely fashion.
This is the continuous question I want to ask today. Because, hey, you won it. I watched you guys win it, especially in that second half coming out against UAPB. Once you come out of that COVID year and you come into fall 2021. Now, the Jackson State people, when I was leaving Jackson, Mississippi that year, all they kept saying was wait till the fall, wait till the fall. And I'm blowing them off, waited till the fall, and they did exactly what they said, wait till the fall. On the other end for A&M, looking at coming out of winning that championship of Quill Glass and everything that you guys had going on, what was then the expectation for fall 21 for that football team and for the head coach?
I can't say
it was
to win. The expectation was to win. Like we didn't expect to get beat 62-15 by Jackson State, but we didn't. Our defense at that year was terrible. Like everybody knows that. Like when we won games, we used to win them like 59 to 57.
It was 52-49 at Texas Southern, 42-41 against South Carolina State. We lost 35-31 to FAMU on an 80-yard touchdown run in the last minute. Yeah. I mean, we were 7-3 that year. It was so much that it was just a missed opportunity year.
Yeah.
That I thought. But
But when people talk about that fall 2021 year, they neglect to say that we beat South Carolina State when the main people that talked about us did.
Yeah, South Carolina State gave them that work in that Celebration Bowl. But it is what it is, man. We look ahead, man. Spring football is kicked off, and everybody's gonna have their optimism ahead of the fall. And you know what I'm saying? Well, we got to do Perry. We gotta have you back on, man. We got to do a show when we get into football season, man. We talk about football and do some previews and all that different kind of stuff, because everybody's expectations will be high because everybody's records will be 0-0, and all the trash talk will be going up real strong, as it always does. You know what I'm saying? But y'all got y'all new coach. And it's a new era for Southern Jaguars, and we'll see how that goes. A new era for Grambling with Mickey Joseph. New era with James Colsey and FAMU. You know what I'm saying? You got, other new coach, Chris Dishman in Texas Southern. I mean, you know what I'm saying? The new coaches is just rolling out, man, all over the place. And then there's some coaches that's going to go into the year knowing that they need to produce. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Even the second-year coaches, Hampton at UAPB, he looking to have a bounce back. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just going to be one of them type of years, man. And that's what we look forward to.
Do you see Bama State with Eddie Robb now bringing in Andrew Body do for you guys with Jackson State with TC Taylor didn't quite live up to the expectation? FAMU with all the transition. Does it seem like Bama State is right there to see to where this will be their goal?
We gotta be quick. We gotta be quick. We approaching 2 hours. We gotta be quick, folks. We get into
I would say this. We have a good we have good showings against Andrew Body. So we're undefeated against Andrew Body.
Y'all did keep them from a SWAC championship, didn't you?
Yeah,
we did.
Yeah, y'all did.
Sure did.
Thank y'all for that, matter of fact, because we got to the championship.
Yeah, all the shade you
doing. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.
Remember all that shade? It was us that the reason you got there. And lost, you did lose, but you got there.
Thank y'all.
But like I said, man, we're gonna talk plenty about that stuff, man. We're gonna talk. Right. But Perry, man, thanks for joining us tonight, my brother. It's been fun. Everybody, we're gonna check out that SWAC basketball tournament, and we definitely gonna hear more about everything with Southern and everything that goes on, brother. So y'all catch Perry White on the Yard Network. You see him all over YouTube doing shows, man. My guy, thanks for joining us, man. We'll see you up
appreciate you, brother.
Right?
Hey, I appreciate y'all for having me, man. Good luck to y'all in the tournament.
Yeah,
Same
you
to
as well, my brother.
All right.
All right. That's Perry White, y'all. Man, what a great show.
Yes.
Hope everybody had a good time tonight. Just want to let everybody know that we'll be back for the show. With everything that goes on, y'all know the SWAC tournament is in full effect. Good luck to not just our team, but good luck to all the teams that are participating. Kicks off tomorrow, early on, man, in that early session. So A&M, they get going tomorrow, 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern. If you're not there, make sure you check it out on ESPN Plus, y'all. If you don't have ESPN Plus, make sure you look it up and get it. Right. Subscribe to it so you can have it. You can watch all the games.
Right. Just keep it a month.
Then cancel when the season over.
Yeah,
Right.
Seriously.
Football season start,
you'll need it when football season comes. Trust me.
Right.
So we look forward to that.
Well get that Bulldog access for a year. Just get it now.
Yeah, so we look forward to that. We also shout out to our women's bowling team as they head down to Dallas. They're the 3 seed. Look forward to them being in the SWAC championship. Baseball on the hill this weekend against FAMU, 3-game series. Friday and Saturday at 2 p.m., 1 p.m. Sunday in the finale. Be there. All right. Jay the Great, this was a lot of fun tonight with you. I know you're going to be in the house there at Bartow Arena, so take some pictures. T. Gooden, I know you're going to go down. You're going to see some games.
I'm going to slide down there. Down there.
I know Corey, if he was in town, I know he's with his family on spring break. He would have been there. Dave, you and me, we just gonna watch it on ESPN Plus.
From afar.
Yeah. So next week we got another wonderful show. We will definitely recap the SWAC tournament for everybody. We'll talk about spring football a little bit more and other things that go on the hill. So keep an eye out for that. So for Jay the Great, Mr. T. Gooden, Just David Thomas, I'm your man, Wild Wayne Cartwright. Peace and love. God bless. We'll see you next week. Thank ya.